India is one of the oldest and most culturally rich countries on the planet. It's a land of extremes. Extreme weather, extreme numbers, and extreme wildlife. Here, a creature's size is no indicator of risk or safety. Some species can fit into the palm of your hand, others cannot be confined, but all have developed ingenious methods to hunt, defend, and kill. They're striking, unusual, and dangerous. Prepare to come face to face with India's deadly dozen. Few countries are as large as India, or as populated. A billion people live within less than 8 million square kilometers. And deep within the country's arid deserts, lush forests, and rugged mountains live some of the world's deadliest creatures. Among them are three of the world's biggest reptiles: crocs, kings, and constrictors, who all kill with their extraordinary size and strength. An estuarine crocodile slips back below the surface. Estuarine crocs comb the brackish waters from northern Australia through Indonesia, Malaysia, and to eastern India. But they're just as comfortable in freshwater rivers and swamps, and that can place them dangerously close to villages. Since the late 1980s, there have been 30 recorded human fatalities in India. But some fear that number is actually much higher. They tell stories of neighbors who suddenly went missing, and no one knows why. But despite their size and fearsome demeanor, estuarine crocodiles are also prey. Once plentiful, creeping human settlement has reduced their numbers to near extinction in India. Less than 300 reside here now, and only in the east. They're the largest living reptiles in the world. Adult males can grow to 7 meters long and weigh over 400 kilograms. But despite their size, they're stealthy. Like most crocodiles, estuarines hunt from below. Only their eyes and nostrils are visible, while the rest of their bodies remain hidden. Then, with just one thrust of their muscular tails, they reveal themselves. They launch out of the water and on top of their victims. Even the biggest of prey, like livestock, is no match for these ambush hunters and their death roll. Another of the world's most colossal reptiles also resides in India, but this one kills with venom. It stretches longer than a car, stands as tall as a human, and can inject a torrent of toxins with just one bite. It's the king cobra, and at up to 5.5 meters long, it's the longest venomous snake on the planet. But this regal serpent's reputation isn't based on size alone. It's also considered one of the world's smartest snakes. Instead of biting, the king will bare its fangs, much like a dog, to scare off its adversaries. Those undeterred can find themselves suddenly staring into the serpent's eyes. When threatened, a king cobra can lift the front third of its body and look an adult man square in the face. Its neurotoxic bite isn't as potent as many other snakes, but what it lacks in toxicity, it makes up for in volume. This serpent yields a massive amount of venom, between 200 and 500 milligrams per bite. Only an estimated 12 milligrams are needed to kill a human. The toxins immediately attack the nervous system, shutting down respiratory function and killing in just minutes. Fortunately, this snake is smart enough to avoid humans, so encounters are exceedingly rare. The king causes fewer than 5 deaths a year throughout its range. But to the animals living in the rainforests of northeastern India and throughout Southeast Asia, the king is a fierce predator. It flourishes in the humidity here and is active both day and night, hunting birds, lizards, and small mammals. But its favorite food is snakes, small pythons, other cobras, and rat snakes. In fact, the king's scientific name, Ophiophagus, translates literally as snake eater. The giant cobra consumes its meal whole, capable of stretching its jaws far enough apart to swallow prey wider than itself. Then the monarch returns to prowl his kingdom. But India is not just home to the world's longest venomous snake. It also hosts one of the biggest and most powerful serpents on the planet, the python. There are 2 giant pythons living in India, the Burmese and the Indian rock. The Indian rock python thrives in jungles from India to southern China and throughout Southeast Asia. Reaching up to 4 meters and 150 kilograms, it's the smaller of the pair. Its cousin, the Burmese python, can grow to more than 6 meters and has the diameter of a man's waist. But its range, within the Indian rocks, is much smaller. Human fatalities from either species are rare, but when they do occur, they only add to the snake's giant reputation. Like all pythons, these ones don't kill with venom, they kill with strength. They hunt on land and in the water. They thrive in marshy aquatic habitats, where the slow-moving serpents can remain hidden below the surface. This allows them to stalk even nimble prey, like deer and monkeys. On land, they hone in on prey using a special adaptation, a row of heat-sensing organs found along the upper lip. These enable a python to lock in on its prey's body heat and pinpoint an attack. And while this giant may look slow, its strike is lightning quick. seizes its prey with scores of backwards curving razor-sharp teeth that dig into the flesh and hold the animal in place. The more the tiny rat tries to pull away, the deeper the python's teeth sink in. Once secure, the python then coils its enormous body around the victim, working its grip tighter and tighter until the life is literally squeezed out of it. Death by asphyxiation. Then the giant devours its meal, whole. These Indian crocs, constrictors and kings are all among the largest reptilian predators found anywhere in the world. India is home to 1 billion people and an abundance of deadly species. But none wreaks havoc on humans like the venomous snakes. "50 toxic varieties reside here. Every year they bite an estimated 200,000 people and kill nearly 50,000. Nearly 10,000 of these fatalities are attributable to just 4 species: the saw-scaled viper, the Indian krait, the Russell's viper, and the Indian cobra. These are India's Big Four. The Indian cobra is perhaps the archetypal venomous snake, and its range is extensive. It inhabits Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and almost all of India. It's a highly adaptable serpent, living among rural rice paddies or inner city homes. Anywhere there's a constant supply of its favorite food: rats. It's this hunger that draws the cobra dangerously close to humans. Every year, it bites an estimated 10,000 people. Provoked, the cobra will raise the front third of its body, spreading its long, flexible neck ribs and loose skin to form its trademark hood. This makes the predator suddenly appear much larger. Its powerful neurotoxic bite goes to work immediately, blocking the prey's nerve impulses and triggering respiratory collapse. Depending on the target, this shrewd snake can regulate the amount of valuable venom it dispenses. It's not uncommon for the cobra to headbutt its foe instead of biting, or to deliver a dry bite, one that dispenses no venom at all. But whether its adversary is human or mongoose, if the snake is provoked, it will fight back. Attacks from behind are deterred by what appears to be another set of eyes. These rings, known as ocellus, give the snake its nickname, the spectacled cobra. But where the cobra ensures its presence is known, this lethal serpent is a master of secrecy. The saw-scaled viper inhabits the deserts and rocky outcrops from northern Africa and the Middle East through India. It spends most of its day buried underneath the sand, away from the blistering heat. But at night, it hunts. The saw-scaled viper is an extremely common snake and kills hundreds of people every year. When confronted, it will not back down. Instead, it offers a distinctive warning. It rubs its serrated scales together to produce a rasping sound, similar to a saw cutting wood. And its warning is well heeded. At less than 1 meter long, the saw-scaled is a relatively small snake, but its 5mm fangs deliver a powerful venom. Hemotoxins immediately begin to break down blood and tissue, causing severe bleeding. But while a saw-scaled is an incredibly dangerous snake, it doesn't kill as often as this one. The Russell's viper. This notoriously aggressive serpent claims thousands of lives every year. Just one rush of its toxic venom can cause massive bleeding and kill within minutes. This serpent can strike repeatedly, inundating its victim with toxins. And no group suffers the Russell's wrath more than farmers. The Russell's viper inhabits open grassy fields throughout India, but rice fields with their rats and mice are its preferred hunting grounds. Here, the number of snakes per square kilometre is higher than almost anywhere else in the country, making human contact almost inevitable. Confronted, this snake won't run. And if captured, it's legendary for its fight. Stricken farmers are often hours away from a hospital and die before they can receive medical attention. But left to its own devices, this viper is actually a welcome exterminator, rendered almost invisible among the foliage. The unsuspecting rat draws ever closer. Its prey is flooded with venom, then released and left at a safe distance to struggle and die. The serpent then devours the meal whole, its flexible jaws stretching to accommodate the feast. Like the Indian cobra, the Russells can control the amount of venom it injects into its prey. But when enraged, it doesn't pull its punches. The snake's ferocity combined with its proximity to people is what makes it one of India's leading killers. But even the Russell's viper isn't the most dangerous snake in India. That distinction goes to the common crate. This snake kills nearly 50% of the humans it bites. The common krait hides in dense tropical rainforests and dry open plains throughout Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka and India. But it's no stranger to populated areas, particularly those with water. Although it's nearly 2 meters long, it's rarely seen during the day because it hides under vegetation or in abandoned animal burrows. It prowls at night, when its dark-colored skin provides the perfect camouflage for hunting its primary prey, other snakes. Armed with small fangs, the krait attaches itself to its victim, allowing ample time to chew on its neurotoxic venom. Nighttime is also when it encounters humans. On a cold night, it's not uncommon for a snake to enter a hut, seeking the heat of the rural inhabitants sleeping on the ground. But one wrong move can spell disaster. Bites are usually painless, and victims are often not aware that they've even been struck. The krait possesses one of the most potent venoms of any snake in India. Its molecular components are so tiny that they're absorbed into the bloodstream faster than any other venom, shutting down the body's nervous and respiratory systems within hours. Even with anti-venom, chances of survival are only 50-50. It's not uncommon for people, especially children, to die in their sleep. In an attempt to reduce the number of krait bites, villagers are cautioned to sleep on raised beds instead of on the ground. In a land dominated by 50 species of venomous serpent, the saw-scaled viper, common krait, Russell's viper, and Indian cobra are in a league of their own. And their overwhelming presence throughout the Indian countryside all but guarantees fatal interactions with humans. Another breed of predator also lurks in India's shadows, watching and waiting. They're as adept in the water or among the trees as they are on land. Their victims never even know they're there until it's too late. They are India's killer cats. A leopard cuts through the darkness in silent pursuit of an enticing sound, only to discover the easiest of victims. The scuffle alarms local villagers. But by the time they can react, both prey and predator are long gone. The leopard has retreated to savor its feast. Leopards are the most widespread big cats in all of India. They are found throughout the entire length and breadth of the country, from tropical rainforest to arid desert. One key to their broad range is their extensive diet. Leopards will try to eat almost anything, including monkeys and saltwater crocodiles. But when their natural prey is scarce, they turn towards livestock, and sometimes even humans. Stories of human predation have reached mythical status in parts of India. One leopard known as the Panar man-eater left a deadly trail of terror, reportedly killing 400 people before it was shot and killed in 1910. Between 2001 and 2003, leopards in the Junna forest, a dense woodland just outside the city of Mumbai, attacked 50 humans, killing 18. In 2004, in Mumbai itself, a city with a population of almost 18 million, leopards killed 12 people. Leopards are immediately recognizable because of their yellowish bodies and ornate pattern of black spots. Like human fingerprints, these spots or rosettes are unique to the cat that wears them. No two coats are alike. But not all leopards are golden. Some are black. These panthers get their ebony coats from a condition known as melanism. But no matter what the color or the name, these compact hunting machines are deadly. The size of big dogs, their muscular frames enable them to reach speeds of nearly 60 kilometers per hour. However, they often employ stealth to catch their prey, sneaking up undetected and aiming their long fangs and powerful jaws at the victim's neck. But the leopard is only one of India's big cats. A far larger feline also stalks the dense jungles here. It's the Bengal tiger. For more than 2,500 years, this creature has been an Indian icon. Today, an estimated 2,000 or more of the big cats live in India, approximately half of the world's Bengal tiger population. Their range stretches from Pakistan to Burma and throughout most of India. But the largest population resides in the Sundarbans National Park and Tiger Reserve. Over 20,000 square kilometers of densely forested river delta that spans the borders of India and Bangladesh. Roughly 250 cats dwell in this lush landscape. But on the Indian side in particular, the swamps lack an abundance of the tiger's natural prey. So the cats often turn their attention towards the easiest quarry they can find. People frequent the Indian side of the park to collect wood, fish and honeycomb. Absorbed in their chores, they make easy targets for the hungry and stealthy cats. The attacks are so fast and fierce, virtually no one survives. Every year, tigers kill 50 people in the Indian Sundarbans alone, making it home to the highest number of tiger fatalities in the country. Once, locals took to wearing masks on the backs of their heads to discourage attacks. They believed this ruse would deter the cats, as tigers rarely attack a person from the front. But now they fear the tigers may have caught on. Water also offers little protection. Tigers are adept swimmers and have attacked and killed fishermen who thought they were far from shore. This carnivore is at the top of the food chain. Its speed, strength and powerful jaws make all animals vulnerable. Adult male Bengals reach lengths of 2 meters and weigh over 200 kilograms. They grow 3 times larger than their leopard cousins. They hunt primarily from dusk to dawn, tracking prey with their extraordinary night vision. A tiger's eyes are equipped with a special reflecting layer called the tapetum lucidum. Located behind the retina, this film increases the amount of light captured by the eye, enabling the predator to hunt in the darkest setting. Once locked onto its prey, its method of attack is unusually simple. It employs one crushing bite to the throat or neck. Like the leopard, the tiger prefers to eat in seclusion, dragging its meal into cover and then consuming up to 40 kilograms of meat in one sitting. India's killer cats live within dense foliage and on the outskirts of town. And whether they're hunting natural or human prey, most victims never even know they're there until it's too late. Two of India's most formidable species aren't your usual predators, although if they're cornered, they too can be deadly. One is small and inconspicuous, and kills with venom. The other is large and boisterous, and it kills with force. The India red scorpion unleashes its toxic sting. Within moments, vomiting and confusion rack the young victim. As the toxins spread, they ravage the heart and nervous system. Without treatment, respiratory and organ failure can occur in hours. And all from an invertebrate the size of a cigarette lighter. Nearly 100 species of scorpion live in India, but the India red is the deadliest. Much like spiders and snakes, a scorpion stings as a last resort. The bulbous venom-filled gland at the end of its tail injects its victim with a flood of neurotoxins. These strikes are potentially disastrous, particularly for young victims. Barefooted children are among the most common casualties in India, often accidentally stepping or sitting on the 8-legged creatures. Symptoms can last from 24 to 72 hours. Victims can even improve and suddenly fall ill again, casualties of a false recovery. But medical treatment can sometimes neutralize the effects of the scorpion's elixir. India red scorpions are plentiful in the middle and southern parts of India, areas rich in rocky, sandy ground cover. Locals claim that if the soil is red, you're almost certain to find scorpions. They dwell in crevices or burrows and underneath debris. If the scorpion is cornered, it will unleash a deadly defense without a sound. But trap this giant mammal, and you'll certainly hear its ferocious attack. This is the sloth bear. It gets its name from its appearance, because its coarse fur and protracted claws resemble the attributes of another forest creature, the sloth. But while it may look like a sloth, it doesn't move like one. This 130-kilogram bear can outrun a human over short distances. It can even scare off a tiger. Attacks usually involve loud vocalizations, a sudden charge, and a punishing assault to the victim's most vulnerable area, the head and face. Since 1980, over 200 people have been attacked by sloth bears in India, more than a dozen fatally. Between 6,000 and 11,000 sloth bears are thought to dwell throughout India's lowland forests and foothills. They don't hibernate. Rather, the region's warm climate allows them to remain awake for the entire year, searching for their main food, termites. Sloth bears are avid termite hunters, anatomically designed to invade a colony and consume the tiny insects by the thousands. Their nearly 8-centimeter curved claws make easy work of a sun-baked termite mound. Once inside, the bear deters unwelcome guests from crawling up its nose by sealing its nostrils with a specially adapted flap. Then it feeds, pursing its floppy lips into a tube and vacuuming down its meal. One sloth bear can consume an entire colony, up to 10,000 termites, in a single feeding. They're on opposite ends of India's wild spectrum. The scorpion, small, inconspicuous and venomous, and the sloth bear, large and boisterous, with deadly force. But corner either of them, and the result is likely to be the same. India is home to some magnificent and deadly predators. But perhaps the largest of its deadliest species isn't a predator at all.
It attacks suddenly, comes in attacks. It gored my wife first. I was afraid it was so big. These are all wounds from the elephant attack.
The elephant is among the largest and most powerful creatures wandering the planet. 5 tons of earth-shattering mass compacted into a frame the size of a tank. From a distance, they often appear serene, spending most of the day consuming grasses, bark, and leaves. But when enraged, they can transform into enormous and unstoppable forces of nature. Asian elephants live in southern and Southeast Asia, including India. 30,000 of the colossal herbivores live in pockets throughout the country. But elephants are not mindless eating machines. They're highly intelligent creatures who form complex societies, family bonds that last generations. Like humans, much of their knowledge is learned rather than instinctive. They learn from what they experience. And their experiences are becoming increasingly traumatic. In India, logging and farming settlements are forcing elephants into tiny parcels of land that's short on food and long on hostile neighbors. Farmers drive these giants from their fields. Poachers murder the adults for their ivory tusks. Hungry villagers butcher them for their meat. And park rangers cull their ranks. As a result, juveniles are left with no elders to teach them how to survive. And those adults that do live are often traumatized from witnessing the slaughter of family members. Once these massive mammals roamed Asia by the hundreds of thousands. Today their numbers have been drastically reduced to less than 50,000. But the distraught elephants are striking back. Hunger, the struggle for space, and the search for loved ones have pushed them into dangerous confrontations with humans. Every year in India, elephants kill over 200 people. One such victim was an elderly woman named Putti. In Western India in 2004, Putti and her husband, a 73-year-old labourer called Bulla, set out for the temple from their home on the forest's edge.
The walking distance from my home to temple is 5 to 6 kilometers. As we wanted to reach temple before worshipping time, we left at 7 o'clock. We have to walk in the same path. Everybody uses this path to the temple.
But they weren't alone. Suddenly, an enormous shadow exploded from the trees. Within seconds, the elephant had overtaken the couple.
I was afraid. It was so big. If an elephant attacks, it attacks suddenly.
Despite their colossal size, elephants move with extraordinary stealth and speed. Their giant feet carry their immense frames without sinking into the ground. 15-centimeter pads of fat cushion and muffle every step. Once on the move, they can easily outrun a human, reaching speeds of nearly 50 kilometers per hour.
What can I do when it attacks suddenly? The force by which an elephant charges is more than a car.
The raging creature focused its wrath on Putti, and one well-placed foot delivered all its mass. Bulla's wife didn't stand a chance.
It crushed her.
With one threat quelled, the elephant then turned its attention to the other, Bulla.
The elephant pushed me down. It injured my head and leg and broke my waist.
An elephant's trunk contains over 90,000 muscles, making it the perfect tool for uprooting trees or gathering tall grasses. But the appendage can also be the perfect weapon for an enraged elephant. And it's not the only weapon in its arsenal.
After throwing me down, it gored me. These are all wounds from the elephant attack. The elephant gored with its tusks from here to here.
Elephant tusks can grow to over 3 meters long and weigh in excess of 180 kilograms. They're the creature's most impressive and essential hardware, used in both mating rituals and battle. Exactly what caused this elephant to lash out at Putti and Bulla remains a mystery. But what's certain is the devastation it left behind.
My back got injured. I could not walk or do anything. People took me to hospital. I should have died in that moment, but I survived because of my fate.
His wife was not so fortunate.
They took her to the hospital, but she was already dead. Whenever I remember her, tears come from my eyes.
Today, conservationists try to protect both humans and elephants. Better land management and a ban on poaching have made some strides in limiting fatalities on both sides. But these giants are always best observed from a distance. They are an elite group of 12, embodying all of nature's grandeur and power. They have thrived with a vast array of survival skills and defenses. They are India's deadly dozen.